Thank you very much. It's always good to be back in Hyderabad. I represent Broadridge. I'm sure a lot of you know Broadridge. Broadridge has been in Hyderabad for the last 28 years, maybe not as Broadridge, but as DE Shaw, as Wilco, as ADP, and now Broadridge since 2007. So I'm here to talk about how we have built not a global home, but a capability center nevertheless, and are really incorporating the essence of one Broadridge across the globe, right? Broadridge globally is about 14,000 people. We have 5,500 people in India across Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Mumbai, and really the largest center for Broadridge outside of the United States. What distinguishes us from the rest of the centers of Broadridge is the fact that we do everything that is possible for a client in India from one of the Broadridge offices, which essentially means our product innovation, our software engineering, our operations are all sitting together and therefore have the clarity to do what we need to do. Over the last 4 years, we have grown by about 40% in headcount. But more interestingly, we have grown as an engineering and a software engineering center for Broadridge, right? And the reason why we've been able to do that is by actually changing the way we hire, retain, develop talent, right? So we've really invested a lot in strategic talent planning. We've invested in what we want to hire, from where we want to hire, what should be our campus strategy to hire, what should be the other kind of talents that we want to hire, right? The entire socio-impact piece. How do you want to invest in our people in terms of their growth strategies? And that's something that I'll be talking about during the course of this year, of this talk. But I think 2 years back, we decided that we will build a strategy for India. And the strategy was that we would materially transform ourselves into being a global capability center that is essential to drive everything for Broadridge, right? And we are not restricting ourselves to a particular year or a particular era or a particular period. We are just saying we want to be that indispensable partner, position ourselves to be the capability center for everything and anything that Broadridge wants to do. And under that, we had 4 tenets of operations. The first has to be talent, right? How do we really hire, onboard, retain, develop the best talent? And the piece that we are focusing on from that perspective is really how do we build business acumen in every single person in the organization? How does every single associate talk about business? How do we ensure that they are talking the language that the client understands, that they are understanding profitability of what they are doing from a business perspective? Right? The second tenet of that change that we want to drive is really excellence in product, excellence in engineering, and excellence in operations by leveraging technology. So one of the things that we are doing is forming agile, fully formed cross-functional squads from a product owner all the way to an SDET and saying this is one unit that is capable of delivering anything world-class, right? Capable of taking on any kind of backlog that exists in the product backlog. That's something that we are doing. We want to see how we can become better, and not just at software engineering, but also at ops by leveraging technology. Everything AI is a mantra that we have globally as part of our vision statement, and how do we actually incorporate that into what we do? The third tenet of that is the ecosystem. Right? Something like this, right? How do you get the tribe together? How do you talk to industry bodies? How do you build a really strong strong relationship with academia? How do you actually have the entire functionality around startups and really build that? So we're doing a lot of work with T-Hub, we're doing a lot of work with ISB, we mentored about 20 odd startups. We are right now engaging very closely with about 6 of them to see how they can progress, become better, and possibly be a part of Broadridge in some form or shape tomorrow, right? And the last piece is, like we are a capability center here. We have a lot of our customers, over 25 of our premium customers sitting in India, right? Wells Fargo, Citibank, Nomura, Northern Trust, Barclays, HSBC, State Street. You name them, they all have large centers here. All of them deal with Broadridge products. If they have an issue, they go up, talk to their headquarters, who talks to our headquarters, who talks to us. So how do you build that local, distance, zero distance between our customers? So that's something that we're doing really well. We now have an established account management function that talks to customers on a daily basis regularly, right? But for the focus of this spotlight, I want to just talk about talent, right? And what our talent strategy is. So from a fabric perspective, the one thing that you have to focus on is culture. Our culture philosophy is very good, and it forms the word create, customer-centric, respectful, engaged associates, accountability, trust, and entrepreneurship. We recently added entrepreneurship to our value system, but that's really the fabric that we want all our associates to really be focused on and to be talking about. Once you have established that fabric of culture, I think it's very important for us to establish why we do what we do, right? Does every single associate in the organization understand what they are contributing towards? So last year in India, we started a strategy cascade. Every year we do a leadership offsite. Once a year, talking about what is it that we'll be doing during the course of the year, what competition is doing, how we're going to be beating that competition, how we're going to be giving better experience to our clients. How taking that into the larger organization is something we started last year, right? So we start from the top, but we also do grassroots level. And we ask every team to tell us, give us 2 pages on how they are contributing to the larger purpose of the organization. Therefore, every single person in that 5,500 understands what they contribute to the larger organization. Once you have set the fabric of the organization and you have defined why they're doing what they're doing, the rest of the stuff is really more operational, right? And as you see these slides and go through these slides, I'm going to talk about 2 or 3 things that we have done, which I am exceptionally proud of from an associate-centric point of view. One of the things that we have done is persona-based learning, right? And when I talk about persona-based learning, there are different personas that are there in the organization. A campus graduate that joins you fresh from college, to an executive that wants to go to the next level or change her or his role, right? A young people leader, somebody who's aspiring to be a technology architect. There are so many personas. Now, for each of those personas, what we have done is build learning packages. And those learning packages have classroom sessions in it, have external sessions in it, sometimes external industry mentoring in it, coaching, external coaching in it. It has LinkedIn courses that we create and bring. So that is something that has done exceptionally well for us from a talent perspective. The other thing that we are doing is really focusing on our talent onboarding strategy. 20% of all our hiring comes from campuses. And that has given us a big boost because we're getting these fresh talent from really high, very good colleges, tier 2 colleges. We don't go to tier 1, tier 2 colleges, but hungry to do more, hungry to perform, hungry to deliver, right? We have started maintaining relationships with 18 colleges pan-India, north, south, east, west. And we go there between day 0 and day 5. and get the best talent they've got. So every year we onboard 200 interns in January and convert them into full-time employees in July. What that does to us is that we are able to assimilate them into the culture. They learn during that period. They start to contribute. So on day one, neither are they new to us, nor is the organization new to them, right? And they are already settled in from that perspective. That's something that we have done that is really, really key and special to us. The third thing that I would want to talk about is really how we are influencing academia, right? So one of the things that we have done is we have built relationships now and signed MOUs with LPU and SOA in Bhubaneswar, where we're going to be actually teaching their students things around digital transformation so that they are better ready, not just for us, but all of you, right? So that's something that we want to do with more and more universities. We have signed up student ambassador programs with about 5 universities, including 2 in Hyderabad, 2 in Chennai, and 1 elsewhere, to actually see how we can do guest lectures and start to promote the concept of the different education systems. The last thing that we have done from an academia perspective is really the BFSI consortium. I'm so sure some of you from a fintech perspective have already heard about the BFSI consortium. BFSI consortium was launched in Hyderabad, in Telangana, and has trained about 1,000 students and is doing a mini degree program for 1,000 engineering students across Telangana. We're just launching the Bangalore chapter of that, and I am the chairperson of that. So we take, as Broadridge, deep interest in building that. But from a talent perspective, that's what we want to do. We want to concentrate on campus. We want to concentrate on people after they are onboarded and ensure that they are developed and therefore they retain with us. And I think the strategy is working because we just recently, in the Great Places to Work Institute, the surveys that they do, we ranked number 92 across pan-India. So I'm extremely proud of what my team has delivered from that perspective. And that's where I like to end the session. Thank you very much for listening to me.